Does anyone ever get so bored that they start walking around like video game characters? I remember back in high school, me and my friends would get so bored sometimes just walking between classes or from lunch to lunch at lunch. We would get so bored that we would start walking around like certain video game characters. GTA was the one we would walk around like the most at the time. I think GTA 5 had come out by that point, but for the most part, I remember we would walk like GTA 4 characters. We would do like the walk cycles and random jumps and running into people. Because in GTA 4, when you walk into someone, you stumble around and they stumble around. So we would walk around, and especially in a crowded hall, we would just bump into people and go full ragdoll mode after walking into people. And it was very fun, very entertaining. But that's how bored we would get. You know, I don't do it much now, 10 years later and such, but I think there was one time where I walked into a gas station with a buddy, and I had like the basic NPC standing still animation. Like I had like a recycled animation from something like Vice City. That's a very old memory that I had recently. But no, I wanted to talk about, I was playing Vice City recently. That's kind of a game that I've been playing recently, just the original Vice City, the PlayStation 2 Vice City, the OG. I forgot that there was a shopping mall in that game. Well, I didn't really forget until I found it. And then I remembered, oh, there's a shopping mall in this game. It's one of the coolest, like, malls, like, in video games. The other ones that I can kind of remember about being in a shopping mall would be, I guess Dead Rising is probably, like, the best one. The best one to think of about being in a mall, a game where there's a mall based in the game, is Dead Rising. That's, like, the best one. That should be, like, the only one. But I was thinking of, like, open world type malls. Saints Row has a pretty cool mall, if I remember correctly. Saints Row 2 had a cool mall. But Dead Rising, for sure. Dead Rising might be the only game that has, like, a definitive mall. Left 4 Dead 2 actually has a pretty cool mall as well. But those are zombie games. They're not really... Dead Rising is open world. Okay, now that I think about it, Dead Rising has the best mall in video games. Like, it's pretty cut and dry, but that's not the point that I'm trying to make.
I've covered wars,
Vice City has, like, just a awesome vibe. The game itself, it's set in 80s Miami. You know the game. Vice City. Have you ever heard of Grand Theft Auto? Have you ever heard of Grand Theft Auto Vice City? But the mall itself is like a vibe. I spent like an hour and a half just in the mall. Walking around, doing stuff, causing lots of mischievous chaos.
Oh, my medication is playing up.
There's a Lambo, or not a Lambo, a Countach. What is a Lambo? The Countach is in the middle of the mall. You can take it and drive around. You can get the max wanted star level and fend off as long as you can, and that's really fun. That's like one of the most fun things is starting a 6-star wanted crusade in the mall itself. just the atmosphere is really nice. There's no ceiling, so there's like a black ceiling, which is like no ceiling. I think that's how they did that, so they could have like glossy looking floors. Like the floors look glossy, but there's no ceiling. Like it's like a black ceiling. So it like creates this atmosphere of like a cozy, comfortable environment. There's a lot of detail in this mall too, like the Gap parody. There's a lot of parody stores, but all the like the JPEG images on the walls and such, I feel like were from the company. They like took time to take pictures to upload them into the game to put as like a background texture. It just has that feeling, that handcrafted feeling, especially for like 2002. Just an ambiance that lasts forever. It's a timeless kind of experience. It's a feeling that you can't feel in other types of video games, except for maybe Dead Rising. But I like to go back to Vice City every now and again, and San Andreas. I haven't played 3 in a while, but 3 is also pretty good. And it kind of makes you think too, that Vice City is set in a timepiece. I think it's in like 87, and the game came out in 2002, so really the game is older than the time period that the game is set in, like by many years. The game is set in 87, and the game came out in like 02, 15 years after like 87, and now it's 23 years after that game came out. It does kind of make you wonder, like, how does a game like that still have this odd atmosphere? I don't know how to describe it, but there's a lot of games that are coming up on that where there's the years that have passed since the game's release, especially if it's set in like a certain time period. I mean, there's such a huge gap of time in between these games now. We would think 20 years ago, a game that was 20 years old was Pac-Man, okay? And now, 20 years ago is like Dead Rising. So, I don't know, it kind of makes you wonder at some point, like, about life or something. I don't know, it's just an interesting thought that I had, I guess. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that for 2 seconds. Vice City, it's really dated. The controls kind of suck. I don't want to say it's unplayable, because I still spend a couple hours here and there playing Vice City, just driving around doing stuff. So it still holds up. The soundtrack really does hold up too. I like it. I think it's a good game. I think people should play Vice City if they've never played Vice City. If you can play it for free, that would be the most ideal thing. Try to play it on the PlayStation 2. I mean, I'm sure there's a way that you can find Vice City for little to no resources. And the music that plays in the mall is just really cool too. I like the Vice City mall music. Very nice, a very good soundtrack. I don't think this is my return to YouTube, but I wanted to make another video, so this is it. And whatever.
See you around, Tommy!
Okay, Mr. Lance Vance Dance.